What's up, guys? I'm super excited to shoot this video for you guys today. What I really want to talk about is the reasons why I joined Real Broker and why I brought my business over to Real Broker. And should you decide why you should do it, then you should do it with me. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick little presentation here about who I am, where I came to get into real estate, and then kind of why I decided to join Real Broker. So my career started back in 2010, and just a little quickly some background about me. I am a veteran. I served in the Operation Iraqi Freedom, Iraqi War. I did 11 months, 16 days in the field, boots on the ground. Did 4 months of prep before that. So my total time in deployment was around 16 months. And so that was pretty intense, pretty insane, pretty crazy with my family. And I got 4 beautiful kids. I got twins. I've been married for over 20 years. Let's see here. I'm also a real estate investor. So there's just a lot of things going on in my life. And I really wanted to find that solution that was really going to work well for my business. And so part of that was I had worked with Coldwell Banker before I got into where I'm at now. And I was there for 7 years. But prior to that, I was with an indie brokerage for 1 year. We got bought out by Coldwell Banker. I was with 7 years at Coldwell. I was a brand new agent. And within those 7 years, by about year 6-ish, I was in the top 5 in the company, and then I got to the top 3 in the company. And what happens is as you produce and you progress in your career, you continue to start asking yourself questions about, what is the value that you see within the company that you're working with, and does it continue to serve you? And that's kind of where I was at. I was continuing asking myself the question, okay, well, I'm one more house away. I got to sling one more house. I got to sell one more house. I got to continue to call one more person. I got to continue to keep my pipeline full. If I don't keep my pipeline full, then I don't make any money, and I got bills, and I got things to pay, and and all these things. And then the pressure just continues to surmount, and it's cyclical. It just continues to be there. It's always got that pressure to perform. And so, I started really scrutinizing my checks. I started trying to figure out exactly where the value proposition was, and when I kind of got to that point, I was really struggling with what the value was at my current brokerage, because at that time, it was one of those recognizable names. Everybody knows about Coldwell Banker because they were the first franchise and that was ever created, and then all the other companies were kind of spin-offs from there. And they always kind of stuck with this kind of traditional model, which was you have a broker, you have agents. Sometimes there's staff, sometimes there's not, but there's a lot of times there's a office fee, there's a franchise fee, there's a special advertising fee. So there was all of these fees, and I was like, well, what's the value? What am I getting out of paying for all this stuff? And the reality is that what I was paying for was to build the brand of the brokerage, which doesn't help me at all, because when you got that many agents, you're building the brand, you're not building lead generation. And so I started trying to understand what the value was of me paying for the brokerage, fees and all this kind of stuff. And so, so I figured out, okay, well, so I got a few options. I can create my own brokerage. I can create a team. Or just get out of the business altogether. So I decided that, the next phase for me was to join it, create a team. So I created this team, and I went through several iterations of the team while I was at my current brokerage, and the model just wasn't working. And so that's where the Titan Real Estate team was birthed out of this necessity to figure out what the next steps were. So I tried that for about 3 years at my current brokerage. Different iterations. I messed around with different split ideas, different things like that, trying to, convince my agents that it was about volume, not about, the splits. And to some degree, that's true. However, as an agent, if you're with a deal for 30 days, it's kind of depressing that you see all that money go away to all these different splits, and so my agents were just not happy with that, and so I tried it. It failed, and so I was asking myself, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better solution to this problem that I have. And so I bounced around trying to figure out like which model was going to be the best. And so I had went and went to a convention down in Vegas and bumped into a guy that was with Keller Williams. And so I had asked him about what he does and what's so great about Keller Williams. And he's like, you should come to Family Reunion with us. So I went to Family Reunion, spent 4 days there, and talked to a lot of people about the model and things like that. And I was opened up to this idea of profit share. And profit share is literally set up to where if you're part of the brokerage and the brokerage is profitable, then they will pay you a percentage. What I didn't know was that it was 50% of the profit, and then it was split amongst however many agents were part of that market center. And so what tends to happen, and when I after I was doing my research and I was about to pull the trigger, I started doing my research and come to find out that a lot of these market centers are not profitable. And so, or they are self-sabotaging. And so then I was like, okay, well, that's no good. That's out of my control. I don't know what month is going to be profitable, what's not. It's hit and miss. So that was not a predictable revenue stream. And so I was, back to the drawing board again, trying to figure out what the next steps were. So, so probably about 6 months later, I had heard about another cloud-based brokerage, and so I was running the numbers. I watched one of their videos, and at that time, it was a good model to fit my team into, and it was just as competitive as any other brokerage, and yet I could offer other benefits. I could offer stock, I could offer revenue share, I could offer all of these little ancillary opportunities to my agents, so that they felt like they were, it wasn't just about the splits, and it wasn't just about grinding for the next deal. They had an opportunity to build a business. And so it really felt right at the time. And so as I was there at that brokerage for 3 years. But one thing that really stood out to me about Real was that it was about culture for me. It was really just about a sense of belonging and being part of a family, and not just being just another number, and not just about grinding away and trying to get to a certain, size of a company, and trying to just continue to push the recruit, which I'm already a natural recruiter. I already love, if I'm behind something, I love it. I really am all in on that. And so lo and behold, somebody from Real reached out to me and kind of told me about Real and what they had to offer. And so I was really super, super excited about that, because there's a lot of agents there that have been with other brokerages, and a lot of the things that they were talking about were just the same pain points that I had. And one of those pain points, again, was culture. I'm really, really big on, if I'm going to be part of a group, then I really want the support, and I want the family, and I want the to know that somebody's got my back. Not only that, but I also want to know that I don't want to feel like I pick the wrong sponsor. I don't ever want to feel like a company is telling me that, yes, we're one company. However, if you didn't pick the right sponsor, then too bad. And if you want to change your sponsor, then you have to quit and then come back in 6 months and start all over again. And that just does not sit well with me. Like if you're one team, one dream, then why should I have to feel like, I got duped somehow? And I didn't want that feeling. I didn't want to feel like there was these little cliques, or that it was high school again, or I mean, if a person is part of a company and they've got a trick or a tip or a tactic or a tool that's available, you know if I'm part of that brokerage, I should feel like they should be open to sharing that. Or if they have a product that is for sale and it makes sense, I mean, I'm open to purchasing products too. Like, there's nothing wrong with that for me. And so, and it came very clear that it was just an alignment thing, that it just wasn't going to be an alignment thing. And when I came over to Real, it was just a completely different environment. Like, the biggest thing that really got me was their core values. And the core values is make a difference. Like, that's huge. Like, we want a ripple effect to happen. And if we all make little differences along the way, then we can have a global movement through making a difference. The next one is embrace, resolve, evolve. So, whatever challenges we have, we take them on. We don't try to hide it. We don't try to, say that, it's something that it wasn't. And we try to figure out how to fix it. And then we move forward in a different way so that we understand that this is the path that we're on. And then also building your future together. And again, that comes back to this sense of community, that you're not having this sense that somehow I didn't, pick the right sponsor. Because, in our world, like, the sponsor is literally the person that made you make a decision. And they're not there to train you. They're not a trainer. They're not a coach. They're just excited about the opportunity and they want to share it, and that's huge. And so, I really like this idea of building a future together, no agent left behind. We want to make sure that we're all carrying our weight to bring people up. We don't want to push people down. So that's kind of how I came to this, idea of wanting to, join Real. And then also, of course, because it's very lucrative, it's got a very, very generous compensation plan. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So Real has a 12K cap, and we're one company nationwide, so it doesn't matter if you have multiple licenses, it's one cap. It's also an 85-15. So essentially, if you do just a little over $3 million in production, then you're going to cap out. And then after you cap, it's just a $225 transaction fee. And then once you reach $6,000 in post-cap transaction fees, then your transaction fee drops down to $100, and then you can qualify for elite agent status. And so with the elite agent status, the way that works is we give you $16,000 back in stock. So we give you everything back in your cap plus $4,000, and then if you contribute to the Real Academy on a monthly basis, then you also get an additional $8,000 in cap in stock. So again, it's up to $24,000 in stocks, which is pretty. I mean, it's amazing. It's very, very generous. And then we also have no monthly fees. So we just have a $500 yearly fee, which is $500. It's $250 for your first 2 transactions, and then that's it. So again, very generous. Also, if you want a CRM, We have a special relationship with Chime CRM, and you get that for $25 a month if you want that. What we're finding is a lot of agents are coming over from other brokerages, and other teams already have their own CRM, and so we don't make you pay for a CRM if you don't want one. And then the onboarding fee is $149. That's just a one-time fee. And then so I'm just gonna kind of break down real quick like the 3 reasons that make Real just absolutely an amazing opportunity. Is again, I'm gonna kind of recap the Elite Agent Program. Every year on your anniversary date, you have 12 months to cap plus 27 more transactions, and that will earn you $16K back in stock, plus an additional $8K in stock if you contribute to the Elite Agent Program, the Real Academy. And in what world does that even happen? I mean, it's just crazy. Like when I was at Coldwell Banker, I tried to have a conversation because I was so terrified of leaving, because that's one of the things that, is the fear of change. And so I tried to renegotiate my splits with Caldwell, and they just kind of laughed at me and was like, yeah, that's just not gonna happen. So anyways, so just one more thing that was like, okay, then there's your sign, you know. And so then the next thing is stock. So how do we earn stock? So there's 5% out of each closing. You can contribute towards your stock. And then these are also reserve stock units, so they have to after 12 months, then they mature, and then after that 12-month mark, you get a bonus. So right now, as of recording this video, it is 25% back in stock, and that's actually going to be dropping down to 15% once we reach 6,000 agents. So as we continue to grow, they continue to reevaluate how we can continue to offer incentives to agents that join Real. And then post capping, you can contribute up to $15,000 in post cap contribution, and that's at 10%, and then it caps out at 15K. And right now, as of recording this video, it is 50%. And then once we reach 6,000 agents, that drops down to 35%. And then when you cap, you get 500 shares. And when you attract an agent, you get 250. And of course, as we continue to grow and scale, some of this will change over time. But right now, for early adopters, we're really giving a huge incentive for agents to get in on the front end as we continue to grow and scale. And then and so also you do need to have a sponsor. And so if you're listening to this video, we're trying to help you grow, and so just put me as your sponsor, and or you can just reach out. We have some opportunities to click on and put your information in, so we can reach out and see. You can book some time on my calendar to see how we can help you see if Real is a right fit for you. All right, so with that sponsorship, we have what's called revenue share. So the difference between revenue share and profit share is that it's about the revenue that you generate as the agent. So it has nothing to do with the company and if their profit and loss statement. It's all about the revenue that you generate. So out of that revenue that you generate, you can earn up to 5%, and on that first tier. So at your first tier, you can earn up to $4,000 per agent. On the second tier, it's up to $3,200 per agent per year. On the third tier, it's $2,400 per agent per year. And actually, sorry, I got that backwards. So on the first tier, when you attract agents, and really we're all about production. So on the first tier, it's $4,000. Second is $3,200. The third is $2,400. The fourth is $1,600, and the fifth tier is $800 per agent. And so, so what it is really, all the hard work is on the front end, and so that's why Real is really generous on the agents that you're talking to face. So they really want to try to generate productive agents, and so that's how you can generate a lot of opportunity and residual income by bringing agents that are producers to join the company, or brokerages, or teams. We have a place for you. A lot of teams and a lot of individual brokerages are really looking at real right now, just because of the early adopter phase. So that's super, super exciting. Um, and so you can also, like I said before, you can purchase stock out of your closings, and so up to 5%, you get those coming out of your checks. And then we also have a ton of training. We have live trainings every single week about any and every topic you can think about. So that's pretty awesome. So like if you want to learn how to farm an area, if you want to learn how to get listings, if you want to know how to get listings by being an expert at using Canva, if you want to learn how to do YouTube, there's just a ton of training out there that's just amazing when it comes to growing and scaling your business. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So make sure that if any of this sounds appealing, make sure you reach out to me. Click on the link. There's a link to my calendar, and we can talk more about how we can help you grow and scale your business. We do various trainings from time to time to help you stay on top of your business. I'm also a coach, and so if there's anything out there that you needed help with, or you weren't getting at your previous brokerage, feel free to reach out to us, and hopefully we can real will be the right fit for you. All right, thanks a lot, guys.